Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining. Happy Moksha Ekadashi and Gita Jayanti today. And let's continue Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam on such a auspicious day. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Shodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Shodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatamritam Tam Sajim Sadvetam Savadhutam Krishna Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatvate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranmami Haripriya Vancha Kalpa Trubhrehascha Kirpa Sindhuvevacha Patitana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishnaputre Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasti Go Bhakt Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatam Vande Shri Gurudin Taranam Paramanandam Adam Shitanesharam Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Sasvityasam Tato Jemaduriyat Nasta Prashabdibreshu Nitabhavse Bhakti Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Neshtaki Hare Krishna. Okay, so chapter 13 which we're doing, and last time we were talking about how to keep Krishna in the center and taken the association of the sadhus and our daily practice like that, and shouldn't try to find fault in others. And when we talk about taking associates and devotees or sadhus, that doesn't mean we don't meet our relatives, just that we don't take their ideas. We give them our ideas of Krishna consciousness, not some say, why are you wasting your time, why are you doing this and that, and let's go out, let's do this. So, we're following a process, and we should be strong in our endeavor, in our sadhana, and we should try and get others to follow instead of we following them. So it's like that. So let's continue. Okay. So in verse 34, Pitri Uparate Pando Sarvana Suradha Shishun Akrashatam Vyasanataha Pitarvayo Gatav Itaha. So Pitri, upon my father, Uprate, falling down, Pandu, Maharaj Pandu, Sarvan, all Naha offers, Surdaha, well wishes, Shishun, small children, Arakshatam, protected, Vyasantaha, from all kinds of dangers, Pitarvayo, uncles, Kava, where Gatau have departed, Itha, from this place. And the translation is, when my father Pandu fell down and we were all small children, these two uncles gave us protection from all kinds of calamities. They were always our good well-wishers. Alas, where have they gone from here? So what happened last time? Yudhishthira Maharaj, he woke up early in the morning as usual, did his sadhana, and then after doing this dharma, then he would go and see his elders and pay respect to them. So after paying respect to the deities, he would pay respect to the Pitars and his elders. So he went to see Vidur and Dhritarashtra, but to the end, obviously Gandhari Mata as well, but today they weren't there. And he went to Sanjay to find out where have they gone. And Sanjay was, he had no idea because they went very quietly, they left very quietly. And now Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was worried that I hope they have not, they have been grieving for the death of the sons, which he felt was his fault that all this has happened. Yudhishthira was blaming himself. This is like a devotee, he's not pointing fingers at that's the fault of Dhritarashtra, he was a king. He's blaming himself that somehow even our presence has caused this problem or this great massacre, and now it's possible that uncle and auntie have committed suicide. So he's going to that extent that because of me all these people have already died, and now the remaining few, they've killed themselves because they're so aggrieved by the whole thing. So 34, is there anything to add? So Sanjay, the secretary of Dhritarashtra, he was completely faithful. Up till now, Sanjay was always present in everything Dhritarashtra had done. Sanjay thinks it's my fault, for he has left and not told me anything. Now, see, Sanjay is also a devotee. Sanjay is thinking that it's his fault. Otherwise, why would they have not mentioned anything to him? So he's done something wrong that they've left. So like that. Although, they committed so many, or at least Dhritarashtra, he's committed so much sin that he shouldn't be given time of day. But here, the devotees, Sanjay, Yudhishthira, they're feeling so sorry and guilty. That's something they done. Why would they leave? Well, they did the right thing, obviously, and left for the forest. So Sutta Vacha. Now we come back to Sutta Goswami, who's explaining to the sages of Naimisharanya. Sutta Vacha. Kirpya Sneha Viklavayat Suto Virya Karshitaha Atmeshwaram Achakshano Na Pratya Hati Piditaha. So Sutta Vacha, Sutta Goswami said, Kirpaya, out of full compassion, Sneha Vaiklavayat, mental derangement, due to profound affection, Sutta Sanjaya, Viraha Karshita, distressed by separation. So Sutaha is mentioned Sanjay because he is called the Sut Putra. So Ha, he's the the Putra of Suta. Atam Ishwaram, his master, Achakshanha, having not seen, nor did not. Prityaha, he replied, Ati Piditaha, being too aggrieved. So Sutta Goswami said, because of compassion and mental agitation, Sanjay, not having seen his own master, Dhritarashtra, was aggrieved and could not properly reply to Maharaj Yudhishthira. So Sanjay is very upset as well. What's happened? Because he spent all his life with the king, who always confided in him about everything. And today he left and he did not mention anything. So you can imagine you have a very good friend, and they say you go to the same place, and that friend decides to leave that place, and you would at least expect him to tell you that he's going or he's not going to be coming down anymore. Say you're like at some kind of club or something, he's not coming down anymore, and at least tell you that and he's not told the others, but he tell you that I won't be seeing you again because I'm leaving. But if they leave quietly, it's quite painful. That why didn't they mention it to you? Like did they just took you for granted? You thought you had some kind of rapport, you had some relationship, and yet they just left quietly without saying a word. So it can be quite painful with friends. But here, this is like quite serious. Sanjay was a great servant of Dhritarashtra, and is very loyal servant at that. So Sanjay was a personal assistant of Maharaj Yudhishthira for a very long time, and thus he had the opportunity to study the life of Dhritarashtra. And I don't think he ever judged Maharaj Dhritarashtra. He was just completely loyal to him. And when he saw at last that Dhritarashtra had left home without his knowledge, his sorrows had no bound. He was fully compassionate toward Dhritarashtra, because in the game of the battle of Kurukshetra, King Dhritarashtra had lost everything, men and money, and at last the king and the queen had to leave home in utter frustration. He studied the situation in his own way, because he didn't know that the inner vision of Dhritarashtra has been awakened by Vidur, because they didn't hear this conversation, and that therefore he had left home in enthusiastic cheerfulness for a better life after departure from the dark well of home. So they didn't know that he's gone to something better. He has decided to give up the nonsense and live a spiritual life. They have no idea where they're gone. Unless one is convinced of a better life after renunciation of the present life, one cannot stick to the renounced order of life simply by artificial dress or staying out of the home. This is why it's recommended that we don't take sannyas in Kali Yuga, because most people, we cannot stick to it. Right? Sannyas is only meant for people at very high caliber, who are like already renounced, living at home, but they're so renounced that it wouldn't make any difference if they were at home or anywhere else. But we have so many attachments, and we think that renouncing everything, just leaving, will detach us, but it won't. You have to be detached in the first place to live. It's not that you change your place and you will become detached, because the detachment's you're inside and that goes with you, and you will not become detached. So, and if you are attached to married life and children, family, even if you leave your family, you either you'll be always thinking about them, or you will end up starting a new family somewhere else. So what was the point of leaving what was already there, breaking something that did not need, should not be broken, and then then you're starting something new of the same thing. So what was the point? That's why it's not recommended that you renounce things in the Kali Yuga, because we are too attached to Maya, to our families, to our wealth, that we will not survive, we will not be able to focus on bhakti. In fact, we will lose bhakti altogether, because at least here you have the comfort, you and your in comfort environment, comfort place, and you have people to help you to do your bhakti, your sadhana, you have association of devotees, everything is here that you need, all the tools are here, you just have to endeavor, that's all. So it says here that it's not about the externals. To sustain something internally, we should be convinced. So we not, just by doing externally doesn't change anything. How, what's going inside us is the important thing. Not just to pretend to be a renounced person doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's continue. Vimarjya Shiruni Pani Bayam Vishtabhayat Atmana Ajat Shatrum Pratyusche Prabho Padav Anusamaran. So Vimarjaya, smearing, Ashuruni, tears of the eyes, Pani Biham, with his hands, Vishtabhya, situated, Atmanam, the mind, Atmana, by intelligence, Ajat Shatrum, unto Maharaj Yudhishthir. Pratyus say, began to reply, Prabhu, of his master, Padav, feet, Anusmaran, thinking after. First he slowly pacified his mind by intelligence, and wiping away his tears and thinking of the feet of his master, Dhritarashtra, he began to reply to Maharaj Yudhishthir. So this is Sanjay about to reply, and like I said, Sanjay doesn't seem like he judged Dhritarashtra. Yudhishthira didn't judge Dhritarashtra, and his wife Gandhari didn't judge him. So there's so many people, in that way he was fortunate that people tried to judge him or point fingers at him. He got away with so much here. Right? I mean, apart from Bhim, nobody was attacking him. So 36. So Sanjay is going to say, Sanjay Vacha, Naham Veda Vyavisitam Putro Vakul Nandana Gandharya Va Mahabaho Mushitosmi Mahatma Bihi. So Sanjay Vacha, Sanjay said, not Aham I, Veda no, Vyavisitam, determination, Pitro, of your uncles, Va yo Kul Nandan, or descendant of Kuru dynasty, Gandharya, of Gandhari, Va or Mahabaho, or great king, Mushita, cheated, Asmi, I have been, Maha Atam Behi, by those great souls. Sanjay said, my dear descendant of the Kuru dynasty, I have no information of the determination of your two uncles and Gandhari. O king, I have been cheated by those great souls, because they just left quietly without informing him, and doing the usual ritual of saying goodbye. They didn't say goodbye to him. And it's quite painful for Sanjay, as it is for Yudhishthir as well. So that great souls cheat others by maybe astonishing to know but it is a fact. So Srila Prabhupada explaining that great souls cheat others may be astonishing to know, but it is a fact that great souls cheat others for a great cause. It is said that Lord Krishna is also advised Yudhishthira to tell a lie before Acharya, and it was also for a great cause. The Lord wanted it, and therefore it was a great cause. Satisfaction of the Lord is the criterion of one who is bona fide, and the highest perfection of life is to satisfy the Lord by one's occupational duty. That is the verdict of Gita and Bhagavatam. Dhritarashtra and Vidur, followed by Gandhari, did not disclose their determination to Sanjay, although he was constantly with Dhritarashtra as his personal assistant. Sanjay never thought that Dhritarashtra could perform any act without consulting him, because he was blind, and he needed mental and physical guidance from Sanjay on everything. And Sanjay was always giving the right advice, and Sanjay didn't hesitate. A bit like Vidur, he did not hesitate to give truthful advice. Didn't try to sort of sugarcoat things, just tell him as it is. Like in the Bhagavad-Gita, he tells him as it is, that exactly what's happening. He's not trying to hide anything. Sanjay never thought that Dhritarashtra could perform any act without consulting him, but Dhritarashtra's going away from home was so confidential that it could not be disclosed even to Sanjay. So he's thinking, he doesn't know why they've gone, but he's thinking, what could be so confidential that they didn't bother telling me, although he always told me everything. Sanatana Goswami also cheated the keeper of the prison house while going away to see Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And similarly, Raghunath Das Goswami also cheated his priest and left home for good to satisfy the Lord. To satisfy the Lord, anything is good, for it is in relation with the absolute truth. We also had the same opportunity to cheat the family members and leave home to engage in the service of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Such cheating was necessary for a great cause, and there is no loss for any party in such transcendental fraud. So Srila Prabhupada is talking about his own life as well. He left home, he left his wife and children because he had a higher mission, which he fulfilled. It's not that he left home and then started another home. If the cheated people is for a higher cause, but then all these people, they fulfilled that cause, whether it's Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Dhritarashtra, or Srila Prabhupada. So they're leaving. So even if they say that they committed sin by leaving, but because they actually fulfilled the cause that they left for, then that's like forgiven for that reason. But but still that's not excuse for us to go around cheating people because we think it's for a higher cause. Can we actually fulfilled that cause like they have here? These great personalities. So we have to be careful that we don't break any regulations, and we don't cheat people unnecessarily as an excuse. So cheating others, great souls may cheat you for a great cause. Srila Prabhupada slowly revealed the requirements to his disciples. What is a great cause? Anything the Lord wants is a great cause. This is the only bona fide criteria. And finally, 38. Atha jagam Bhagwan Narada sahatum buruhu pratyothaya vivadayaha sanujo bhyarachayan munim. So Atha, thereafter, Ajagam arrived, Bhagwan, the godly personality, Narad, Saha Tumbruhu, along with his tumbru, musical instrument, Prati Uthaya, having gotten up from their seats, Abhivadya, offering their due obeisances, Aha, said, Sa Anuja, along with the younger brothers, Abhyar Jayan, thus while receiving in a proper mood, Munim, the sage. So when Sanjay was thus speaking, Shri Narad, the powerful devotee of the Lord, appeared on the scene carrying his tumbru. So Narad ji, he could see everything. He could go anywhere, he could see everything. And sometimes he was needed to put people out of distress that needed to be out of distress, and put people in distress that needed to be in distress as well. So it's like Kansa, he thought, well, it's the eighth child of his sister, that of Devaki, that is going to be danger to me. So why kill the others? But then Narad Muni, so he was relieved. Okay, I don't have to kill the other children. And then Narad Muni comes and tells him, no, it could be any of the 8 child. So don't think that you can let them off like that. Then put him back in stress again. So he can take you out of your stress and he can put you in stress. But that's all for Lord Krishna. He's doing his service. It was necessary for the pastimes. So Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers received him properly by getting up from their seats and offering obeisances. So Devrishi Narad is described herein as Bhagwan, due to his being the most confidential devotee of the Lord. The Lord and his very confidential devotees are treated on the same level by those who are actually engaged in the loving service of the Lord. Such confidential devotees of the Lord are very much dear to the Lord because they travel everywhere to preach the glories of the Lord in different capacities and try their utmost to convert the non-devotees of the Lord into devotees in order to bring them into the platform of sanity. Actually, a living being cannot be non-devotee of the Lord because of his constitutional position. But when one becomes a non-devotee or non-believer, it is to be understood that the person concerned is not in a sound condition of life. Okay. The confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusion living beings, and therefore they are most pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. So they treat such illusion living beings, the confidential devotees of the Lord. Even we can treat people who are illusion living beings. As I was saying in the class yesterday, that we should all preach to some extent or the other. Not preaching the transcendental knowledge you have gained is like having the antidote to a pandemic and not sharing it with the general public. So, we're committing actually a sin that way, that we're not sharing the pandemic that's going on, that's being in illusion. Everyone's in illusion of Maya. That's the pandemic. And we share the antidote of Krishna consciousness with them. We can take them out. We can release them from that disease that they have. And plus, this knowledge from our point of view, or for us, we've been given this knowledge. We've got to give free. It's all free here, right? This information I've been given, the books, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, all this knowledge is free. And if you don't share it, anything given free, you will lose it. That's the law. That anything you have been given freely, that you should share it freely. That's the system. If you don't share it, then sooner or later you will lose that knowledge yourself as well. So the more you share, the more you gain from that. Expands. Actually, a living being cannot be a non-devotee of the Lord because of his constitutional position. But when one becomes a devotee, non-devotee or non-believer, it is to be understood that the person concerned is not in a sound condition of life The confidential devotees of the Lord treat such illusion-willing beings, and therefore they are most pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad-Gita that no one is dearer to him than who actually preaches the glories of the Lord to convert the non-believers and non-devotees. And you can check that in verse 18.68. Krishna tells you that he loves his preachers and they will get pure devotion service and they will go back to him. Such personalities as Narad must be offered all due respects, like those offered to the personality of Godhead himself, because he's a representative just like our spiritual master. And Maharaj Yudhishthira, along with his noble brothers, were examples for others in receiving a pure devotee of the Lord like Narad. So they were very exemplary how to receive the high personality. They knew how to welcome them. They were welcoming Krishna all their life, who had no other business save and except singing the glories of the Lord along with his veena, a musical stringed instrument. That's his only business. He was always on the go, 24/7, anywhere, 24/7, anytime, any place. No job is too big, no job is too small. That's Narad Muni. He's always doing business for the Lord. Wherever he's required, he can go. There's no like a mileage limit or radius, can't go out of this much area. He'll go anywhere in the universe. In fact, in any universe he will go. He can travel anywhere he wants, but with the speed of mind, because he has been empowered to do that service. He has all the things that he needs. So so we have heard Narad's life story in the Bhagavatam, which we did earlier on. His life story is there from the time of creation, which was like 150 trillion years ago. So yet this episode was 5,000 years ago in terms of the battle of Kurukshetra. Just at the right time, he appears to help Yudhishthira Maharaj. We can also pray to him for guidance at the time of difficulty. So Narad Muni is there for all of us. These are just examples here. These examples are given for all the jivas. So whatever other people can gain, we can also gain as long as we are sincere. We can ask Narad Muni for help in time of difficulty. Narad's duty is to travel place to place and glorify Lord Krishna. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada is doing this. He never considers himself Bhagwan, although he may be referred as one. And to be honest, I was just saying the other day that Srila Prabhupada, Vishakha Mataji, when they came to see it at Great Bar Memorial Hall, that Srila Prabhupada, if you think about it, he had the mood of Narad Muni. He would travel anywhere. He traveled out of his comfort zone. He traveled everywhere, all around the world, so many times to preach, to help people. And Prabhupada even said that I'm happy to go to another universe to preach, if that's what Krishna wants me to do. He doesn't now saying, oh, I've done my work, I've worked so hard, I've done so many things, and everything is in order. Now I'll go back home to Godhead and just serve there. He's saying, no, I don't care whether Krishna wants me to come back home or wants me to stay here in the material existence, whether it's this universe or any other universe. I'm happy. He wants to serve just like Narad Muni. Narad Muni is not there in Vaikuntha, or in Goloka Vrindavan. It's got his own kingdom or place there. No, he's out there always serving from beginning of this creation, from time of creation. And this is just the one creation. So he's been serving ever since. He's not bothered about when he goes back to head office. He's happy to be out there in the field serving. That's where they feel best, best place for them, because they see that as their position to serve. They'd rather be out there serving. The same with Srila Prabhupada. He said, I'm happy to serve wherever Lord Krishna sends me. So it was the same mood as Narad Muni, and Prabhupada has this empowerment as well, that he could convince people. We're asking Yaduvar Prabhu and Vishakha Mataji, how did you come to Krishna consciousness? These are Western people. Vishakha Mataji is the temple president at the manor. Asking, I said, what convinced you to come to Krishna consciousness? Because at least, as Indians, we know about Lord Krishna, we know about the demigods, we know everything. It's just that we have a misunderstanding of who is Lord Krishna. Is he one of the demigods, or is he the Lord himself? So once that's clarified, then we know, okay, this is the hierarchy. That's all. Little tweaking. But with the Western society, they never heard of Lord Krishna. They don't know about anything about demigods. They don't know about our culture. How does someone convince them? How did someone convince the hippies to give up all their whatever doing and have 180-degree turn? Only somebody is empowered, like Narad Muni, who could change Magrari's life, who's a hunter, and make him into a devotee. Srila Prabhupada did the same thing. These people doing nonsense, and he turned them into devotees. People who don't know nothing about Krishna consciousness turned them into devotees. And Vishakha Mataji said that it was what Srila Prabhupada said to me convinced me. That's all. She said, he said some things to me which convinced me that Krishna is God. And from then on, that's it. They changed their lives. And now she's temple president at the manor. So very nice. They have this powerful, convincing empowerment that they can convince anyone. So that's so amazing. Anyway, hear from yourselves. Hare Krishna. So I think Kiran Prabhu is having some work done, so he's busy there. So we'll hear from Purnikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam. Hare Krishna and all devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. These verses are so beautiful that I need to spend more time to read these verses again today, Prabhuji. You have covered so many things, so many points in that. I was listening to a class from Keshava Maharaj from the same chapter, and he said a sadhu has basically two main functions. One is to create faith in the person, and second is to create a doubt in the person. So whenever a doubt is there, then only they'll become inquisitive and come to you, and then they will be in a position to listen to you actually. So Dhritarashtra is in a position now where Vidura found that yes, now I can say something to him. And it's not something, but he gave him very hard as well. Like he used very tough words also. And at least by this, Dhritarashtra understood some reality, and he left finally. And as you said, Prabhuji, like satisfying the Lord is more important. Cheating, if it is meant only to bring somebody to Krishna consciousness, that is fine. I was always thinking this when we go for book distribution, we always say, these are the books on yoga and meditation, but we never say, normally we don't say it is Krishna consciousness book, this is all about Krishna, this is spiritual books, but we just say this is a book on yoga and meditation, and many people get connected to that when they hear that word. So I used to feel like we are actually cheating them, but it is not cheating. We are giving them this book, so one day they will read and they'll become Krishna consciousness. And we need preparation before doing anything. As you said, renunciation is not a joke. We need to prepare, come to that level, and then we can renunciate. And similarly, from the Keshava Maharaj class only, again, I was thinking that we should prepare even for any service, like even for cooking or even for book distribution, even for giving a class. We need a lot of preparation behind that. And again, coming to the same book distribution, we need to prepare a questionnaire in such a way that we can develop that inquisitive nature in the person whom we are speaking to. If you just show the book, sometimes they take it, but sometimes they just see the book and leave because they don't get that questions in their mind. But if we can prepare ourselves to ask such questions by which it can generate that question in their mind, then our service to Srila Prabhupada will become more fruitful. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada said to his disciples once, he says, I have cheated you all. And he laughed. He said, I've cheated you, all of you, you know. Sometimes you have to do things but for a higher cause, and you know, you're helping them. You know, it's like a child that you know, you tell them like this is sweet and you give them some medicine, right? Or you coat it with something to give them the medicine. So that kind of cheating is acceptable because you are helping them, not cheating them out, taking anything away. You are giving them something good, right? Spiritual.
Yeah.
So, you know, Srila Prabhupada admitted that I have cheated because he probably told them that you just need to just chant and take prasad. You know, like they have to do, you know, regulation. He told about the regulations a long time later, I think, when he came to giving them initiation. He didn't tell them that there's all these regulations involved. They have to give up all these things, you know. So he just started them by giving them prasad, maybe a little bit of kirtan, like that, slowly, slowly. You know, he just hit them with the regulations. Oh no! But by that time, they knew too much to leave, right? They could not leave because they knew too much, and they accepted all these. I mean, Prabhupada tried to give them 64 rounds, which they couldn't do because, you know, we can't do them fast enough to justify, you know, we can't do any other service. So like that, yeah, no, it's
Thank you.
as long as it works, you know, sometimes you have to do something for their own good, right? So thank you so much for
Yes,
sharing.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Hina Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji can't hear you, Tom. It's me. Yeah. Can't hear you, Mataji.
Better?
Yes,
Can you hear
yeah,
me now?
now
Is that better?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
sorry, I've just come a little bit closer. Sorry, Prabhuji. So yeah, I think some nice points have been covered off already around when we do something by Prabhupada, you know, if we're doing something, if the purpose of what we're trying to do is for a higher cause, for the Lord, it's somewhat justified. Especially if the intention is to satisfy the Lord, then that's a good thing. It's a good intention. I think with Nadaji's appearance, and we'll cover this off further in further days, but it's nice how it's nicely explained how, because Nadaji is so highly revered, he's so highly respected, because he's eternally preaching, you know, the glories of the Lord to everyone, regardless of whoever they are, believers, non-believers, non-devotees, etc. And it just made me think of how even like devotees, especially within this month with the book marathon going on, like devotees are trying to follow in the footsteps of Naraji. And I know Prabhuji also mentioned how you can also say Srila Prabhupada is also similar to, you know, following in his footsteps as well by preaching and coming to the Western world. But I'm thinking particularly around the book marathon at the moment and preaching on the streets, whether, you know, book marathon or Harinam, you know, devotees are trying to follow in Naraji's footsteps as well. And that's, as it's stated in this verse, in verse 38, that such devotees are on the front, you know, who are on the front line are very dear to the Lord. You know, this type of service is very elevated, and it attracts a lot of mercy from the Lord. So yeah, I'm just going to be trying to extend myself a little bit more, particularly this month, to give this knowledge through the books. And yeah, I think it's a blessing to have this opportunity and be part of the marathon. So that's it. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, another thing I was mentioning yesterday was about this concept of wet grass. When you light wet grass with the fire goes out. And then you think, well, you know, this is hopeless. You cannot light wet grass. So it's like when you go preaching to people who have no concept of this and you preach to them, it's like trying to light the wet grass. It's not going to light. But you may not have lit the grass, the fire may have gone out, but the grass has dried a little bit. Now from wet, it become moist. And when you light it, when it's lit again at some point, it will start to become dry, and as you keep lighting it again and again, it will eventually become dry, and it will light. So Krishna fire of Krishna consciousness is like that. You give it to people whose consciousness is not ready, is like wet grass, but keep bombarding with the fire. It's very powerful knowledge. You keep bombarding with the fire, eventually it will light that fire, and then they will thank you for for helping them. Until then, they can't appreciate it. What you're trying to give them. Once you can see, it's no ordinary knowledge. It's a worldwide following. All cultures have embraced it because they've understood it. It's a matter of understanding it. Matter of catching that fire. Once you catch it, the fire's lit, and then it's our responsibility to make sure we don't take the fire out by doing nonsense things. And Purnikash Prabhu saying Gauranga Prabhu shared a person trying to escape. Let me just get that on here. Escape from the police, joined a devotee group, ended up in temple. He was told not to do much, just eat prasad. He found so comfortable. Later he was slowly asked to wake up at 4, go bath, chanting. He realized he's probably better off in the prison. But by that time he developed attraction for the Lord and what he's doing. He was asked by judge, and he said all he's doing since few months. Judge said, you are a different person now, and no harm to anyone from you anymore, and left him. Oh, Glories to Prabhupada and disciple. Yeah. So out of the frying pan into the fire of Krishna consciousness. This is what happened to this person. But yeah, obviously it's all about the consciousness, and the judge understood that he has changed his ways. And Krishna, how merciful is Lord Chaitanya. He attracts these people like us, nonsense people like me. He attracts them to himself and gives it freely, because he says you're so nonsense that you will never be able to get this, like Jagai and Madai. He says you just so nonsense people, you can never get Krishna consciousness. So I just have to give it to you. That's the only way you're going to have it, if I just give it to you. Srila Prabhupada said the same thing. He said, no, you have not done anything. I have given it to you. Because we're such fallen people in this age that somebody just has to give it to us. We don't have the capacity to earn something like this. So thank you so much. And let me just stop there. Okay, we'll go to Parveen Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So feeling immense gratitude for Srila Prabhupada on this auspicious day. अगर प्रभुपाद ना होते तो हम भी यहाँ ना होते आज on Ekadashi, Gita Jayanti. Thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada. And in these verses, how it's emphasized not to judge anybody. So it's the biggest lesson for me, not to judge. So Yudhishthira, Sanjaya, and Gandhari, they did not judge Dhritarashtra. They just carried on doing their duties, what they were supposed to do for him. And the other point mentioned is lying for a higher cause is okay. So, and I remember bribing my daughters to sing bhajans as well. The Nanaji will give you money, so just for money, they were very young, and they learned like Hanuman Chalisa very quickly. So I remember bribing them. And the other point, like, yes, we thought, oh, chant and be happy. Yes, it's 16 rounds, but at that point didn't realize it's a steep slope, it's just going on and on, but it is a happy slope, so we only get more pleasure. And about the preaching, like you mentioned, Prabhuji, yesterday as well and today. So in my head is, everybody's like, I want to be this, but the best job in the whole universe is to preach, to give what we have, whatever little we have. And it's not just about the absolute truth about Krishna, it's everything, because everything belongs to Krishna. So we should share whatever we have, whatever Krishna has given to us, it is for sharing. And also about when you're talking about Srila Prabhupada, how he was empowered and changed hippies into devotees. So Keshava Maharaj, he always comes into my mind. Keshava Maharaj, because he's traveling so much now, he is studying, but he's still traveling everywhere, doing everything, because last time Keshava Maharaj came, he was doing like 3-4 programs in one place and then traveling to the other place. So we are very fortunate to have elevated devotees like that. And thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing, all your knowledge with us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much. I'm just thinking that, although Srila Prabhupada has said cheated, I think it really means trick people, right?
Yes,
Like
yeah.
cheating
Well, it's
sounds,
not cheating, yes.
yeah, it sounds a bit strong. But yeah,
Yeah.
he means like tricking people into Krishna consciousness, right? So
Not even tricking, it's just like it's the jugglery of words, really. So
yeah, juggling words. So yeah, I mean, Prabhupada's saying I cheated, but he means I fooled them, I tricked them, but for a higher cause. So obviously, and
because when you talk about spiritual or God, people will have a deaf ear. So they use the right words to, attract them.
yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Happy Mokshta Ekadashi to all of you.
Gita Janti.
And Gita Jayanti, of course. This is the auspicious day, and that is how we are here today. I think it's all due to Gita Jayanti that we are collected here, and we are hearing Srila Prabhupada's purports and glorifying the characters of Mahabharata, and they are amazing beyond what we can describe them. Like we hear in Keshava Maharaj's lectures, don't criticize, don't complain, and don't compare. And we do it. Yes, I do it. I have to put my hand on my heart, but we are trying. At least we are hearing. So one day, the wet grass of our consciousness will become dry. So there is hope for all of us. And how amazing to see Narad Muni. He's everywhere. He's like eternal. So when you hear characters like Narad Muni, you understand what is meant by the eternality of the soul. So there's so many lessons. And it's so nice to hear from all of you. Everybody has given how they understood it and what they have learned from it. And my biggest learning is that no matter how much birthless we feel after spending so many years in Krishna consciousness, that we haven't come up to the standard at all what Krishna desires from us, what Srila Prabhupada, what our Guru Maharaj, what the senior devotees desire from us. But as long as we are here doing what we know, what we have to do sincerely, as much as we can, I think we have got hope for all of us. So with those words, I will take my leave, and I'll say again, Happy Mokshta Ekadashi to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And thank you all so much for joining. Have a wonderful day, and try and read some shlokas if we can from Bhagavad-Gita on this auspicious day, and make your life sublime. So thank you so much. Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all so much. See
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.